Hello everyone and welcome to my next showcase. So here we are. What is this? This is basically a very glorified wither cage. So let's get right into it. What does it do? It's not just a wither cage for one wither. It's a wither cage for as many withers as you like. So let's get some in here. We'll start with this one. And this is where we see our first big advancement here. So we're summoning in this wither down here, inside of some scaffolding, and right before it blows up, we will push him up and extend this netherite block into his head. Bang, there you saw it. And this stops all of the entity damage race and all of the block breaking race. The only damage we take here is the half heart you take within 9 blocks of the wither that we cannot avoid at all. And as you see now here, the wither is stuck against this boat from the top, perfectly centered by these boats here on the bottom. And he will just sit perfectly aligned in this little chamber and shoot all of his skulls inside of these deleters here. Those are actually very important, because with one wither it's no problem to catch the skulls. With 100 withers, these skulls shooting other skulls back becomes a big problem. That's why we have these crazy stair tunnels here that make sure that no skull can ever make it back out again. That's also why we have this portal here. Sometimes the main head of the wither has 1 in 1000 chance to shoot a blue skull. Blue skulls fly differently and they destroy just about anything. That's why we're sending them to the nether, where they unload and turn into a normal skull. Okay, so we got one wither in. That's not a whole lot. Let's get a couple more, just for fun. How about this one? And here you can see it. The wither gets summoned below. As soon as he's exploding, he will be pushed up, block inside of his head, block all the race, and then he instantly sees this villager over there. And here we go. Now it's 2 withers in here. Let's do it one more time, just for the sake of it. Let's get a third one. No problems at all. And yeah, this will work as long as your game runs, pretty much. And there we go. It's really close. It's scary every single time. But yeah, we've tested this with far more than 100 withers. So yeah, now we have X amount of withers in here. What do we do with them? The smart ones of you already saw it here in the corner. This is actually a stationary skull generator. So, let's have some wither basics. If a wither sees a target within 20 blocks, he will shoot it. If we now block the sight via closing this fence gate, the main head here will stop shooting because he can no longer see the target, but it's still in range. And the side heads here will search for a new target. If they don't have a new target, they will start randomly shooting, which includes blue skulls, which would instantly break everything here. But when we close this fence gate, we also open this gate. And that makes the main head stop shooting. The side heads will search for a new target, which now is back here, which lets them shoot into these skull eaters. And at that point, the main head is not shooting, and the side heads are shooting somewhere else. So we have a lot of space here in the front. So what we do at that point, we send in the shulker, which drives all the way through this rail here, gets ejected onto the soul sand, and then pushed inside of the wither's head. And it's perfectly aligned to be exactly perfectly centered where the skulls get generated. And therefore we generate skulls that have to go nowhere, because they're already at their target. And therefore it generates skulls that have no motion. They don't move by themselves at all. So, I guess it's time that we flick the lever and just see everything happening. So again, quick recap, flick lever, this fence gate closes, this fence gate opens, main head stops shooting, side heads turn around and shoot to the back, shulker comes in, gets placed inside of the wither's main head, and one part I forgot actually, as soon as the shulker is in, this villager will drive all the way back here, which makes the main head drop the villager target, search for a new one, which at this point is the shulker. And since the shulker is perfectly centered on the wither, it will actually just generate motionless skulls. Well, let's see it happen. Here we go. And there we go. The side heads are shooting to the right now. The shulker is coming in. There he is. Pushed inside of the head. And there we go. motionless skulls are being made. And over here, we can just batch them up. And for now, we're just deleting them because we don't really have anything to do with them. I guess you could make a blast chamber if you really wanted to, or anything else. And also, since blue skulls work much differently, we're sorting those out over here, which could break just about anything. Obsidian, liquids, all kinds of things. And this is also the main reason we have a multi-wither cage, since a single wither would only generate a blue skull every 33 minutes on average. With 100 or 200 withers, that looks a little different. Okay, here we go. This was one of the hardest projects we ever made, by the way. This is not easy at all. And it's not easy at all to keep this thing reliable, because this has more features. Now, as you can see, we have a wither here, and like a shulker inside of his main head. Everything is pretty crammy. We could, of course, not just leave this area. The moment you leave this area, the wither would lose its targets and search for new targets, and the side heads here would instantly see the shulker as well, and absolutely bomb him to pieces, and yeah, the withers would escape, everything would get horrible. So to unload this area, we actually have to get the shulker out again, and get it retarget onto the villager. This is, by the way, one of the main reasons we're using the shulker, because we can make him teleport, which will drop the vision. And then we're basically back to the main head not seeing its target, which will just make him stop shoot. So what do we do to get the shulker out? Basically, we just enable these trapdoors. So if I turn the farm off, blop, these trapdoors will flick open, which is a teleportable spot for the shulker. And any moment now, he will actually teleport out. As soon as he does that, yep, there he goes. If he opens up, he triggers the string, which releases the card. And there he goes, he drives away. And we can see the wither. There we go. He's back onto the villager. And now every skull is flying into the same direction. It's all one target. We are good to leave, unload, reload, and repeat everything. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. It's, yeah, something that hasn't been done before as far as I know. And might be useful in the future. But it's for sure good for bragging rights. Suck it. Bye bye.